Surprise, ladies and gentlemen. I told you I was going to come out with another episode on the 11th, but then, my schedule cleared up a little, and I wasn't as busy as I thought I was going to be, so I said, hey, don't waste the momentum, go on ahead and jump back in there. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to talk about why feminism isn't ruining masculinity at all. Welcome to another episode, epilecture. Yeah, epilecture. I just came up with an epilecture. That's great. Welcome to another epilecture of the Main Cast Podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Professor Christopher, or Chris, or Big Dog Duke, or whatever you want to call me. But I'm your host, right? So, I want to thank you all for tuning in. The feedback from the last couple of episodes, it's been rather eye-opening and great. It's been well received so far. Of course, more ears will equal more opinions, and then maybe some of those opinions will be taken under advisement and everything like that. I'm also going to make sure to include a link to all of the epilectures. That way, you can, record a voicemail or message. You say whatever your heart feels. If you agree with me, if you don't, if I hit a point, if I didn't, if I'm being an idiot, or if I'm just, if you feel like I'm just really talking poorly, then it's okay to let me know. Utilize that First Amendment right. Freedom of speech. Just do it. It'll be fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings at all. So now, let's break our foots off into this topic here. So, allegedly, the idea of feminism is the reason why men can't be men out here, right? And it's kind of ridiculous. Well, there's no kind of. It's very ridiculous as a talking point, because let's just take a second to think about the historic background of feminism, okay? Although it's, of course, marred in racism itself, but it was a point where white women looked around and they said, we are feeding our husbands, we're having their kids, we're laying down and having sex with them when they want, and we are seen under the same light as these niggers and these foreigners. And they weren't having that. So they said, well, we want to be seen as parts equal to our white husbands who we feed and bathe and have sex with and run their homes and everything like that. Then of course go into the future and black women figure out what's going on with feminism, and they say, well, okay, so y'all being racist, y'all not including us, so we just gonna separate ourselves, and we gonna go about it on our own end, because y'all don't understand the struggle of black women anyway, and so on and so forth, right? So now current wave feminism parts of it, at least as far as I understand, it has requirements. Okay? It has requirements for being able to get along in society, right? So, women at this point, they're saying, hey, I want to be able to go out, right? I want to be able to go out and not be harassed. I want to be able to go out, not be harassed, not have my drink poisoned. I want to be able to have fun with my friends despite what I'm wearing. I just want to be where I can have fun or just breathe air and not be really bothered, by men. And if you do bother me, please come respectfully. Keep your hands to yourself. Please don't try to rape me or murder me. Like, socially, this is the gist of what women are asking. So now we're at the point, with the whole Me Too thing and everything like that. Now we're at the point where men are like, well, how am I supposed to meet women if I can't touch and talk and drug them and potentially have my way with them? What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to be normal. You're supposed to think. Use your personality. Look, but don't touch. I mean, because I understand, women are the bee's knees. They fine. They be dressing, them eyebrows popping, the tassels on their shoes just flipping and flamming all over the place. The booties looking good, and them jeans, them leggings, or whatever it is they have on. Women are looking good. And then you just lose your mind, and you lose all your IQ points, and you just do a weird thing. And I mean, we don't understand why. The women don't understand why either, right? So there was this thing earlier I saw on Twitter, right? So this 40-year-old man, he's a Republican. In the public eye, a senator, Josh Hawley, right? So he's speaking at a national conservation, whatever that is. I probably should have looked it up before I started, right? So, in a nutshell, he's like, well, feminism is the problem, and they're blaming men for their issues, right? And then he's saying that, men are just so lost about how to interact with women that they're resorting to just staying at home, watching porn, and playing video games. And then he goes on to quote to say that there was a young fella who was in that crowd of jerkers and video game players, and he's saying, I'm sort of waiting for a light to come on so I can figure out what to do next. How lame is that? What do you mean you're waiting for a light to come on to figure out what to do next? Bro, all you have to do is not be weird. Okay? Like, women are very welcoming people, right? So, even if you're not just super handsome, like Hollywood level handsome, if you got some swag about you and you dressed up at least semi-normally, and you showered, you maybe put on some cologne, or maybe your deodorant is kind of strong, not too strong, or that makes it overbearing, but strong enough to make you smell good when you're hugging her. You're not ashy, your lips not chapped, you don't have boogers in the corner of your eye, and your breath smells right. Okay, so I know that's a laundry list of things, but at the same time, like, if you could just do that and have something decent to say, you won't have to feel like, oh, feminism is killing male and female interaction. Like, how am I supposed to meet my soulmate and I just couldn't believe that he stood up there, said all that, and quoted that. Like, you're so upset that you can't be a bozo. Like, you can't be out here raping and touching and doing whatever you want to women without them, potentially shooting you or stabbing you or throwing a drink in your face. You're so upset that you just gonna say, well, until things get better, I think I'm gonna just stay home and watch porn and play video games, because that way I won't be accused of anything. You wouldn't be accused of anything if you weren't a rapist or bozo or a fella that doesn't have boundaries. Like, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But no, you're mad because women just want to go out and have a good time and not be harassed and molested. So instead of you being a better guy, a better man, you decide that Pornhub and Fortnite was just the peak of masculinity at this point. You said you just gonna stay in the house and play 2K and wait for the new Call of Duty to come out, instead of, developing a personality or talking to women. Hell, reading some books. Like, you not doing nothing educational. All you doing is beating your dick and playing video games with the same hand that you was beating your dick with. Probably didn't even take a break to wash your hands or nothing. Just went straight from the dick to the controller with no thought in between. How ridiculous is that? Women wanting to be able to be themselves, no matter how they're dressed, no matter how they're talking. And you mad because you can't rape them. You can't touch on them. You can't feel on them. You feel like you can't talk to them. That is just the oddest thing. And then things like this spread like wildfire, and they make everybody look bad. Even people that don't even play video games or necessarily beat the meat all the time, right? Like, you're making us all look bad. Although these was white men, this was a white guy probably talking about other white dudes who have zero swag, no game, no nothing, not a pot to piss in socially. It's who he was talking to. And they just ruined it for everybody, really. Like, bros have to be more socially responsible. Like, the things that you say and the things that you do and the way that you feel, it kind of includes everybody, right? So if a group of women were to hear that, and all of a sudden they're like, well, there are a lot of weird men out here. All of them. I don't trust any of them. It's your fault because you say dumb shit. And, on second thought, it's probably best that you do stay in the house. Don't be out here with us high functioning men, right? Don't be out here with us mingling around, trying to look normal, trying to blend in, trying to steal the swag off our hard work, running the women off because you the one over in the corner being a bozo. Like, don't do that. Just stay home, man. Just stay home. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of this podcast. If you can, please find it in your spirit to review my podcast wherever you can. to at least subscribe or turn some kind of notifications on whatever platform that you choose to listen to this podcast. More ears equals more people equals more conversations. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, if you hear this and you know my Twitter handle, which is Mr. Duke Weiser, MrDukeWeiser. If you DM me the word fishnets, there may be a prize for you.